to part 2 or episode 2 of the depression series. I think what we'll do this time is in this episode is concentrate on the causes, why we feel like we do. I mean, basically these videos are based on personal experiences. Obviously it could be different for other people, but this is just my own personal experiences, and how it is for me. I mean, looking into the research, I have clinical depression. No, I didn't have it up until a certain time of my life when certain things happened which turned to be triggers. I was unaware that my father suffered from clinical depression. If your parents suffered from depression, then it's quite likely that you will too, or you could suffer the symptoms. You might deal with it better, you might not. It might not trigger a full-blown episode, as we call it, you know, or down times. And to live with it. But we'll deal with that in a later video. This one, like I said, this one's based around symptoms and what causes it. I mean, from doing the research, it's down to your serotonin levels, which is basically what they call your happy hormones in your brain. What's found is that the serotonin in your brain is actually with people with depression, the serotonin is actually reabsorbed back into the brain. Obviously this can cause all sorts of different things. You could feel down, you can feel miserable, you can feel suicidal. I mean, it depends. It's different for different people. I'm extremely lucky that I haven't felt the suicidal tendencies, but I've definitely felt the downsides of it. I was saying, yeah, you're inherited. It's very likely that you will. If your parents suffered it, then at some point during your life, there's a possibility that you will suffer yourself with the same thing. Now, my own personal circumstances, just sort of feeling slightly down, not feeling very up and happy much of the time, sort of generally sort of down, and sort of going along like that for quite some time, and you don't notice the symptoms. That's the thing. It's recognising the symptoms and when you've got a problem. Now, mine was caused by a close friend of mine who suddenly died. That's basically what triggered mine. It was a shock to the system, basically. You know, it was a sudden death by somebody who I knew extremely well, and I had done for some time, all my life actually. But for other people, it it could be a death, it could be losing your job, any sort of sudden shock basically to the system, that a divorce, anything, any sort of sudden shock to the system can bring on this. Now in my case it was, I thought I was having a heart attack. I felt extremely unwell. I was fighting it. I could feel mentally I was fighting it. I was fighting what I was feeling. I was saying, I'm not going to feel like this. I'm not going to feel like this. And I tried to fight it, and in the end I couldn't. Basically, it just made me feel extremely ill, and I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know what was the matter with me. I just felt so ill that I just didn't know what to do. Then it was a case of, you know, you need to see the doctor. Then the sort of anxiety things came on board afterwards. I couldn't speak. I couldn't talk. I couldn't communicate to people. I couldn't go to crowded places. I couldn't get on buses. I couldn't go in shops. I couldn't get on trains. I couldn't do anything. I just, do you know what I mean? It was all so heavy on me. I couldn't go anywhere. I couldn't do anything. It was quite a spooky place to be. It's quite a frightening place to be. So basically, I saw the doctor. I saw that I had a problem, and I started on medication. Just your normal antidepressants. Basically a low dose, which I'm still on today at the moment. I'm still on the low dosage. But it's seeing when you have a problem. When you see those times where you can't cope, you need to see the doctor, because if it's clinical depression, it's a chemical imbalance that whatever you do is not going to change. You're going to need some form of medication just to get you over that first hurdle. If you feel you're getting that bad, then you need something to get you back to where you should be, or back to where you were. I think the hard part is that the medication doesn't always work straight away. I mean, it says you won't see the signs for at least 2 or 3 weeks, which is true. Now if you've been on it long term, then it might even take a bit longer. But once you feel you're getting yourself back to that stage again of where you want to be, then you can start to change the way of thinking and change that mindset of where you want to be in the future, and trying to change your way of thinking, not to pull you down. I mean, you might get blips. You probably will. You'll probably have down times. You know, it's not like you can't run away from life. Life has a funny way of throwing things at you. But it's changing your mindset. To not take things on board and sort of pull yourself down into that state of worry, and you know, it's like, let it go, let it just wash over you. But what I would urge you to do is, if you are feeling down and depressed, negative thoughts quite a lot of the time, generally not feeling particularly happy, then I would urge you to go and see your doctor, because it's easier to come back the less you go down, if you see what I mean. There's there's a road you go down like this, and in my case I was quite down the bottom. I let it go for too long, and I went down the bottom, and it's taken me a long time to come back up. Now if you do feel, like I say, if you feel like this, then I would urge you to see your doctor and get them to help you start to climb back up again. Can be a long road, but when you, I think it's better to get back up. It's better to go back up the road when you're only halfway down than it is when you're right down the bottom. So I would urge anybody that's, if you're feeling like that, then go and see your doctor, because they'll be able to help, and they can help you get back up there a lot quicker, and it's a better place to be, as we know. So thank you for watching. Hope this was of use to somebody, and see you in the next one. Cheers for now.